Hello from Birdhouse Yarns. This is Holly, the owner, and I am going to talk in this video about how to hold your yarns during Fair Isle knitting. Right, so Colorwork, it does look complicated. It can be a little tricky. I have a couple of tricks of my own to help make it easier. But the first thing to know is how to hold the yarn so that your pattern will pop forward. At this point, want the blue to be coming forward. Now, because this is a 3-color pattern, I had to decide down here what I wanted to come forward, and I chose to have the white come forward. And then I chose to have the blue come forward in here. In true Fair Isle, you were only holding 2 colors at once, and you are alternating between them. And in actual true Fair Isle, you're only doing about 3 stitches per color in order to get the design, because you don't want to have long floats, which are these bits in the back that end up when you take the when you're not knitting the yarn and you're taking it to the next stitch. These floats are created, and so you don't want really long ones, or then you have to deal with really long ones. But this is a nice one because I don't think it has any of those. The dominant color, if you want whatever color you want to be dominant, should always be to the left. Now, if you're holding your yarn with it in both hands, both the right and the left hand, I always hold the prominent in my left hand and the other one in my right hand. The left one should be under the right one. So you can either hold the yarns in one in the left hand and one in the right hand, or you can hold them both in your left hand if you're a continental knitter. The way you want it to be is you always want the dominant color to be on the left and underneath the less dominant color. So you could hold it like that, and then when you knit, right? If I want to get this one, I just go like that. And if I want to get the blue one, I go like that. And I just alternate back and forth with both of them in my left hand. There's a handy tool that some people use to do this so that they don't have to hold their yarn through their fingers. They can put it on this little ring and they can hold them separate better for when you go to grab the yarn. I just use my finger and I just use both my hands. But the other thing is, let's say you are not a continental knitter at all. You cannot knit continental at all. Then you can hold both of the yarns in your right hand. The same principle applies, that you're always going to have a lot of people do this. You're going to have the dominant color on the left. So some people use their hands like this, or I think maybe even like this, to kind of switch back and forth between the colors. The one that's prominent on the left. If this is like totally impossible for you because you're a fairly new knitter, you can actually just make sure that the prominent one's over there to the left and the non-prominent one is over to the right, and you can just do this. You can just pick them up one by one and use them, and they won't get tangled. If you leave them in the same place, if you leave them one to one side and one to the other, they won't get tangled. You just go back and forth and you can just throw. The trick, of course, is the tension, which I'll talk about next.